All right, we on. Shalom, shalom. Brother Chief Bayout, Chief Nini back at it again with another special. This one I call The Walk of the Holy One. And let me get some comrades up in here. Tag a couple people. Let's see, I need that box. Go to flies. This is where they want to come. These demons. Get going. Set this phone back up. Okay, today I will be coming once again out of the Legend of the Jews, Volume 2, from Joseph to Exodus. Once again, I advise most try to get a hold of this book. Do your best to get a hold of the 4 volumes. It fills in the Old Testament, what they took out, what they left out. And so I will be dabbling back into the Bible, just a precept. Please, if you are tuning in, I want you and I need you to tune within. Listen to your true teachers that are within you, because man cannot teach you anything that is spiritual, that is within. And those are your heavenly parents, wisdom being your mother, knowledge being your father. That's the only way you'll be able and equipped to understand what I'm about to bring out. So please follow me in spirit and in truth. In spirit and in truth. It's the reason why he says that. So, the death and burial of Joseph. The death and burial of Joseph is the chapter. And it reads, on his deathbed, Joseph took an oath of his brethren, and he bade them on their deathbed likewise take an oath of their sons to carry his bones to Palestine, when God should visit them and bring them out of the land of Egypt. He said, I that am a ruler, could take my father's body up to the Holy Land while it was still intact. Of you I do but make the request that ye carry my bones from thence, and you may enter them in any spot in Palestine. For I know that the burial place of the fathers was appointed to be the tomb only of the 3 patriarchs and their 3 wives. Joseph took the oath to carry his remains along Salakia, carry his remains along with them when they left Egypt from his brethren, and not from his sons, to bury him at once in Palestine. Let's pause right there. Okay. And I'm going to go over that again. Joseph took the oath to carry his remains along with them when they left Egypt from his brethren, and not from his sons. So I want y'all to catch that. Okay? That's very key. For he feared the Egyptians would not give the latter permission to transport his bones, even if they recalled what Joseph had been allowed to do with his father's body. Now, who would he be referring to as the latter? Anybody catch it? Throw a 11 up in the chat. Throw that 11 up. The latter would be his sons. They are the latter. Okay? The body of him. They would object that Joseph had been the viceroy and a wish preferred by one of so high an estate could not be denied. Furthermore, he adjured his brethren not to leave Egypt until a redeemer should appear and announce his message with the words, Pakah, I have surely visited you, a tradition which Joseph had received from his father, who had it from Isaac, and Isaac in return had heard it from Abraham. Okay? So, what I want anybody who's paying attention is to grasp what needs to take place as of today. No other story matters. We want salvation. We want to be free from this system. This system, whether you want to call it Babylon, whether you want to call it Egypt, it's one of the same. What we all can agree upon is that the times that we are in right now, is the last Exodus. Okay? And it's a spiritual matter. It's your spirit being released from bondage. That's what's taking place right now. Okay, it's the final event, the WrestleMania, the Super Bowl. Okay, and he told them that God will redeem Israel through Moshe as through the Messiah. Let's get that again. And he told them that God would redeem Israel through Moshe as through the Messiah, in this world as in the world to come. And the Egyptian redemption would begin in Tishra. Now, if you look it up on your calendar, okay, the Tishra is in similitude of Ephraim. The Tishra comes in the month of October. When you go by the Enoch calendar, It's the 7th month. The number 7. 7 generations. Okay? So you're seeing how the Most High is lining this up very strategically to perfection. Don't think they don't know this, y'all. They counting on that you don't know this. That's what they counting on. They hoping you don't know this. Okay? This is the whole makeup of religion. This is the whole makeup of it. What I'm bringing to you right now has nothing to do with religion. It has everything to do with spirituality, which is truth. So, when Israel will be freed from slave labor, 9 to 5, 9 to 5, 9 to 5, 9 to 5, gotta get a job, gotta get a job, gotta get a job, gotta get a job. How you gonna pay your bills? When Israel would be freed from slave labor and would be completed in the following Nisan, when they would leave Egypt, Joseph also admonished his brethren to walk in the ways. To walk in the ways of the Maker, so that they might become worthy of his grace and help. Especially, he impressed upon them, upon his brethren and his sons, the virtue of chastity and a steadfast moral life. This is why you're hearing at such a rampant rate right now. Okay, you'll catch many YouTubers suggesting that man in particular practice chastity, practice semen retention. There's a reason for that. Nothing is by chance. Okay? Nothing is by chance. Know who is in control. Know who is in control. Especially, he impressed upon his brethren and his sons the virtue of chastity and a steadfast moral life. He told them all that had happened to him, the hatred of his brethren, the persecutions of the wife of Potiphar, the slander, envy, and malice of the Egyptians, to show how that those who fear the Most High are not forsaken by him in darkness or bondage or tribulations or distress. I was sold into slavery, he said, but the Maker delivered me. I was thrown into prison, but his strong hand helped me. I was tortured by hunger, but the Maker himself gave me sustenance. I was alone, and the Most High comforted me. And as for you, if ye will walk in the ways of chastity, in purity, in patience, and humility of heart, the Almighty will dwell among you, for he loveth a chaste life. And if you, my children, will observe the commandments of the Almighty, he will raise you up here in this world and bless you there in the world to come. You see, you really don't get blessed in this world. All the blessings of this world is vain. They don't last forever. The blessings that he's talking of and speaking of, okay, is the blessings of eternity. So they're not vain. And I'm going to get, once again, I went over this before, but I'm going to go over it again to expound upon it even more. And it reads, he or the Lord will dwell among you, for he loved a chaste life. And if you, my children, will observe the commandments of the Most High, he will raise you up here in this world and bless you there in the world to come. If man seek to do evil unto you, pray for them. This is consciousness at a higher level. Because when you conscious, you can see that the flesh is being manipulated by a higher, darker entity. You know that that flesh has no control. That person has no control when they are not in their conscience, when they are not tuning in to their higher self. So he says, pray for them to release that demon up off them that's controlling them, that wicked spirit that's controlling their flesh. Okay? And you will be delivered from all evil by the Most High. On the account of my forbearing patience, I received the daughter of my master to wife, and her dowry was 100 talents of gold. And the Most High gave me also beauty, like the beauty of a flower, more than all the children of Jacob. And he preserved me unto my old age in vigor and beauty. For all things did I resemble Jacob. Joseph continued and told them the vision he had in which the future of Israel was revealed to him. And then he closed the words with, I know that the Egyptians will oppress you after my death, but the Most High will execute vengeance for your sakes, and he will lead you into the land of promise of your fathers. Now, let me stop right there. Stop right there. And all what I just read, right? What does this sound like? When you go into your Old Testament, it elaborates on the one who did it first, the first tester, the first one who got tried. You see? I believe you can even find it in the book of Psalms, telling you how the Most High tried Joseph. Put him through tribulations, put him through trials, just so he can come out on top. Right? But what was his walk? How did he come out on top? How was he victorious? Did he really go by the ways of the world? So in your Hebrews, in your Bible, right, it reads this. And this is what the adversary, right, dirty draws, tried to hide in this book. That most think this is the only book you're supposed to be dwelling in. Like how most Christians believe that, well, you should be only reading the New Testament because it's all about Jesus. Jesus done away with the law. Jesus did this. Jesus died for your sins. That's that false prophet you're talking about. For the real Jesus never went against his Father. He never said, I have come to do away with the law. He himself knew that would have been blasphemy. You got to identify the two. Know that there are two Messiahs, one that came in his Father's name and one that didn't, that came in his own name. We all know Satan mocks, but we can't identify who he is. Hebrews 9, 14 and 15, and it reads, how much more shall the blood of Christ, who through the eternal Spirit offered himself without spot to God, purge your conscience from dead works to serve the living God. What I say about conscience? Let's get it again. How much more shall the blood of Christ, who through the eternal Spirit offered himself without spot to God, purge your conscience, purge your conscience. All that this filthy world has thrown into your brain, everything that you learn, mainly in religion, mainly in particular religion, because that was the beginning of the chaos. That was the beginning of the structure of destruction. That was the beginning of the structure of destruction. That was the wicked foundation, was religion. Get that understood. Religion does the opposite of what the Spirit do. Religion takes away the Spirit. Religion makes you think that everything is a folk's tale, a fairy tale. It's not really real, you know. Because remember, why would it be real, or why would they try to tell you about the spiritual world, right? If their God, their Jesus, already handled everything. If Jesus handled everything, right, that means the world that we live in right now, would be paradise. You got to make it make sense. Stop listening to man. Stop listening to these false prophets. Because you are listening to Dirty Draws himself when you do. Chicory, hickory dock. They want you to fall off the rock. All right? 15. And for this cause, he is the mediator of the New Testament, that by means of death, for the redemption of the transgression that were under, that were under the first testament. The first testament. Did I not just read to you the first testament? He was a ruler to his brethren, and not just to his brethren, all of Egypt, all of the land, the entire world. The world, Craig, the world. He was the first tester. Okay? He was the first tester. This is what religion don't tell you. This is why I can tell you I'm not coming from a religious standpoint. Because this is what religion hides. Because God is spirit, not religion. Let's get it again. And for this cause, he is the mediator of the New Testament, that by Salakia, that by means of death, for the redemption of the transgression that were under the first testament, they which are called might receive the promise of eternal inheritance. So let's get it again. Let's get it again. And I'm going to start where he says, especially he impressed upon his brethren and his sons the virtue of chastity and the steadfast moral life. He told them all that had happened to him, the hatred of his brethren, the persecution of the wife of Potiphar, the slander, envy, and malice of the Egyptians, to show how that those who fear the Most High power are not forsaken by him in darkness or bondage or tribulation or distress. It's screaming out. He's the first. It's screaming. I was sold into slavery, he said, but the Most High delivered me. I was thrown into prison, but his strong hand helped me. I was tortured by hunger, but the Most High himself gave me substance. I was alone, and God comforted me. And as for you, if ye will walk in the ways of chastity and purity and patience and humility of heart, the Most High will dwell among you, for he loved a chaste life. And if you, my children, will observe the commandments of the Almighty, he will raise you up here in this world and bless you there in the world to come. In the world to come. Eternal inheritance. Eternal inheritance. That's what that means, y'all. He's the first. I am the first and the last. Now you know who's speaking in Revelations. The beginning and the end. We're in the last Exodus. He was the first Exodus. You see it? Like I said, I see my brother King James in the building, man. Put an 11. Put an 11. The Holy One. The walk of the Holy One. Put an 11 in the chat, man. Now let me continue on where I left off. But ye shall surely carry my bones with you from hence. For if my remains are taken to Canaan, the Most High will be with you in the light. And Belair will be with the Egyptians in the darkness. Also take with you the bones of your mother, Zelpah, and bury them near the sepulchre of Bilhah and Rachel. These words ended. He stretched out his feet and slept his last eternal sleep. And the whole of Israel mourned him, and the whole of Egypt was in great grief. For he had been a compassionate friend to the Egyptians, and he had done good unto them, and given them wise counsel, Who is this guy? That the Bible, that your churches never elaborate on his story. The most a T.D. Jakes would tell you about Joseph is he delivered Israel. He delivered his brother with the famine. He fed him food. Thank the Lord Jesus. That's as much as you'll get. That's all you'll get. He's not expounding upon how he was the Holy One himself in the flesh. That's how he was able to perform the will of the Father. Now I want you to pay attention to what I just read. These words ended. He stretched out his feet and slept his last eternal sleep. The whole of Israel mourned him, and the whole of Egypt was in great grief, for he had been a compassionate friend to the Egyptians. Okay? And he had done good unto them and given them wise counsel and assistance in all their undertakings. So let's go to Zechariah. It's highlighting somebody, y'all. Follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me. Zechariah 14. What is Zechariah 14? Where should I start? I start at 16. Zechariah 14, chapter 14, verse 16. And it shall come to pass that every one that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the king. Who would that king be? The Most High of hosts, and to keep the feast of tabernacles. And it shall be that whoso will not come up of the families of the earth unto Jerusalem to worship the king, the Most High of hosts, even upon them shall be no rain. And if the family of Egypt, now we getting somewhere. Why would the Egyptians be required to come up to the holy mount? It ain't because of Jesus. Y'all gotta, it's plain as day. It ain't because of Jesus. It ain't because of who religion told you who the King of Kings and Lord of Lords is. He is the false prophet. And it shall be that whoso will not come up of all the families of the earth unto Jerusalem to worship the King, the Most High of hosts, upon them shall be no rain. And go not up and come not that have no rain. There shall be the plague wherewith the Most High will smite the heathen that come not up to keep the feast of tabernacles. This shall be the punishment of Egypt. Now you got the backstory to it, right? Look, I got a fly trying to Bruce Lee kick me in the face right now. You see this? This shall be the punishment of Egypt and the punishment of all nations that come not up to keep the feast of tabernacles. Do you see him now? Do you believe it now, Trinity? He came, y'all. God himself came, y'all. You're going to care for your creation. Don't listen to these idiots who say, man, God never come down from his throne, man. He just seeing his angels. He's just stay up on the throne, man. That's blasphemy saying God came down from the throne himself, man. Don't listen to these retards. You care for your creation. That's the love that he have to be an example of. Period. You got to show it. He knew that. You can't just talk it. You have to show it. Show me that you love me. Doesn't everybody say that? Anybody can tell you that they love you. But can they show it? So what you think the Most High himself did? It's simple. He didn't just stay on the throne. Yeah, I love you. Yeah, I love you. Yeah, I love you. No. Let's continue. Joseph's wish that his bones should rest in the Holy Land was fulfilled when the Israelites went forth from Egypt. Okay. And no less a personage than Moshe applied himself to his execution. Such was Joseph's reward for the devotion he had displayed in the interment of his father's body. For he had done all things needful himself, leaving not to others. Therefore, so great a man as Moshe busied himself with the realization of Joseph's wish. For 3 days and 3 nights preceded the Exodus, Moshe hunted up and down through the land of Egypt for Joseph's coffin, because he knew that Israel could not leave Egypt without heeding the oath given to Joseph. Let me get that back. For those idiots that want to belittle, when we bring to your attention who Joseph is, let's bring it back. For 3 days and 3 nights preceding the Exodus, Moshe hunted up and down through the land of Egypt for Joseph's coffin, because he knew that Israel could not leave Egypt without heeding the oath given to Joseph, aka the covenant. The covenant and the oath are the same 2 damn things. But his trouble was in vain. The coffin was nowhere to be found. Sarah, the daughter of Asher, met Moshe tired and exhausted. In answer to her question about the cause of his weariness, he told her of his fruitless search. Sarah took him to the Nile River and told him that the leaden coffin made for Joseph by the Egyptians had been sunk thereafter, having been sealed up on all sides. The Egyptians had done this at the instigation and with the help of the magicians, who knowing that Israel could not leave, that could not leave, they could not leave. They could not leave. Okay? They could not leave, y'all. Oh, house of Israel, do you hear me? Definitely house of Judah. King David. They could not leave Egypt without the bones of the Holy One. Okay? So we're going to go into the deeper matter of it. We're going to go deeper into it in the book of Ezekiel, where he elaborates on the bones in the vision that he gave unto Ezekiel. This fly don't leave me alone. Knowing that Israel could not leave the country without the coffin, he had used their arts to put it in a place whence it could not be removed. Moshe now took Joseph's cup, and he cut 4 flat pieces from it. Now, I read this time and time again. This is the part I was talking about that I don't mind going over and over again until y'all get it. Okay? He cut 4 flat pieces from it and engraved a lion on one of them, an eagle on the second, and a bull on the third. Now, check out the significance of that order. Why would the bull be on the third? What does religion tell you? Them Jews already came out talking about the third temple can't be raised. Why you think they want to stop the third temple being raised? You are the third temple. Those fake Jews over there do not want the third temple to be raised. Why is that? Because it's actually the bull that destroys the beast system. Okay? In a human figure on the fourth, he threw it first with the lion into the river, saying at the same time, Joseph, Joseph, the hour for the redemption of Israel had arrived. The Shekinah lingers here only for your sake. Let's get that again. Let's get it again. The Holy Spirit only lingers here because of you. They don't tell you this in your Bible. No. They cut Joseph super short. They cut his story super short. They give you everything else. Boy, they elaborated on that King David, didn't they? They stretched that all the way out. They stretched out King Solomon. They give you this much of Joseph. You must start asking yourself the question, why? You must be a true king and search out the matter. That's what a true king does. A true king do not listen to men. A true king don't listen to man. The clouds of glory await your coming. The clouds of glory await your coming. If thou wilt show thyself well and good, if not, then we are clear from our oath. But the coffin did not appear. Then Moshe threw the second plate into the water, that with the figure of the eagle, repeating the same words. But again, the coffin did not rise from the bed of the Nile. In the Nile, okay, side note, the Nile is none other than the Mississippi River. As you can see, why you think they messing with the Mississippi River? Why do you think they are putting toxic into the Mississippi River? Is it just that it is the Mississippi River? Or is it something more? Remember, they know. They know. They hoping that you don't. That's the name of the game, ladies and gentlemen. My big bro put me on a movie that everybody talking about now. The whole world, you know, these woke people are now talking about. Bro put me on this movie about 10 years back. They live. They live. When the guy put on the glasses, he see the world for what it really is. He's seeing what they are showing, right? But they're covering the message because they are attacking this by symbols, subliminal attack, subconscious attack. That's why you got to tap into your conscience so you won't be fooled. You see? So whole time, why they calling it the Mississippi River, it's really the Nile. And there remained two when he threw in the third plate, bearing the figure of the bull, and called upon Joseph a third time to come forth. But the fourth plate with the human figure and the fourth invocation to Joseph brought the coffin to the surface of the water. Moshe seized it, and in joy he bore it off. While Israel had been busy gathering gold and silver from the Egyptians, Moshe had been thinking of nothing but Joseph's coffin. This is Moshe. Everybody talk about Moshe, but they don't tell you about this side of Moshe. They don't tell you about this story of Moshe. Why do you think that is? Why would Moshe be so happy about retrieving Joseph's coffin? More than all the silver and gold that the Egyptians had to offer. Why was he more excited and keyed in, focused on $1 billion on finding Joseph's coffin? Mind you, let me throw something in there to blow your mind. Wasn't Moshe raised in the Egyptian household? Now, what did I just previously read about what Joseph did in the household of Pharaoh? He gave them what? Wise counsel. Wise counsel. So that means Moshe knew about Joseph all along. While Israel had been busy gathering gold and silver from the Egyptians, Moshe had been thinking of nothing but Joseph's coffin. And his happiness was great that he had been permitted to fulfill the wish of Joseph. During the 40 years of wandering through the desert, the coffin was in the midst of Israel as a reward for Joseph's promise to his brethren. I will nourish, listen very carefully, because it's going to explain to you who God is. I will nourish you and take care of you, God has said. As thou livest, for 40 years, they will take care of your bones. Once again, God did not rely on man to get the job done. He did it his damn self. He made the covenant and the oath his damn self. He didn't leave it to chance. He already knew all the gimmicks, all the setups that Dirty Jaws had in mind, had planned and strategized for mankind. This is how he stayed 10,000 steps ahead of Dirty Draws. Now it makes more sense. I'm gonna be all over Ezekiel 36. And let's see. I'll start at 17. Son of man, when the house of Israel dwelt in their own land, they defiled it by their own way and by their doings. Their way was before me as the uncleanness of a removed woman. It's funny how he used woman, right? Look at today's time. Look at today's time. And look at the woman of today's time. You can't make this up, man. You can't say this, oh man, this man made. This man made. No. You're giving man too much power. Man don't have this type of ability. Stop it. No. Men are man. Men are of beast nature. They can't perceive eons before their time. No. You gotta make it make sense. 18. Wherefore I poured my fury upon them for the blood that they had shed upon the land, and for their idols wherewith they had polluted it. And I scattered them among the heathen, and they were dispersed through the countries according to their way, and according to their doings I judged them. And when they entered unto the heathen, whither they went, they profaned my holy name. Who is that holy name? I think it'll be the one, that walked the walk without blemish, the first one to do it. That's why they needed his bones in order to leave Egypt. Okay? And when they entered unto the heathen, whither they went, they profaned my holy name. When they said to them, shh. When they said to them, these are the people of the Most High, and are gone forth out of his land. But I have pity for my holy name. But I had pity for my holy name. Let's see. I think it's in Jeremiah. Holy Spirit, lead me to it. Lead me to it. Lead me to it. Oh, let me find it. I know. She put it right on me. Jeremiah chapter 31. Jeremiah chapter 31. I start at 19. Or I start at 18. I have surely heard Ephraim bemoaning himself thus. Thou hast chastised me. I was chastised as a bullock, unaccustomed to the yoke. Turn thou me, and I shall be turned, for thou art the Most High my power. Surely after that I was turned, I repented, and after that I was instructed. I smote upon my thigh. I was ashamed, yea, even confounded, because I did bear the reproach of my youth. Is Ephraim my dear son? Is Ephraim my dear son? Is he a pleasant child? For since I spake against him, I do earnestly remember him still. Therefore, my bowels are troubled for him. I will surely have mercy upon him, saith the ever-living God. There it is. There's no disputing that. None whatsoever. Ephraim is his holy name. What did he just say? I will have pity upon my holy name. Did that not just sound like pity to you? That sound like pity to me. Let's get it again. For the ones in the back. Therefore, say unto the house. Therefore, say unto the house of Israel, thus says the Most High Power, I do not this for your sakes, O house of Israel, but for my holy names. Holy names. With an S at the end. Holy names. You see? This is what they don't teach you. Holy names. My messiahs. I produced them. Holy names, which ye have profaned among the heathen, whether ye went, and I will sanctify my great name, which was profaned among the heathen, which ye have profaned in the midst of them. And the heathen shall know that I am the Most High Power, saith the ever-living God, when I shall be sanctified in you before their eyes. Woo! I prepared a table before thee in the presence of your enemies. Fire keep coming and keep coming. Let's go to 26. Or I continue down for 24. For I will take you from among the heathen and gather you out of all countries and will bring you into your own land. Then will I sprinkle clean water upon you. This is baptism. This is the baptism. The true baptism is when the ever-living performs it. Okay? That's the true baptism, not man baptizing you. The Almighty himself is going to baptize you. He's going to perform it himself. That's what he's saying. That's not what I'm saying. Listen again. Then will I sprinkle clean water upon you. Huh? And ye shall be clean from all your filthiness and from all your idols. will I cleanse you. Now let's go to Hosea. Let's go to Hosea. Chapter 14, verse 8. Hosea, chapter 14, verse 8. Ephraim shall say, Ephraim, 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 Shalom, beloved sister. Ephraim shall say, what have I to do anymore with idols? Huh? Ephraim shall say, what have I to do anymore with idols? I have heard him and observed him. I am like a green fair tree. From me is your fruit found. Let's go back to the book of Ezekiel. Verse 25. Then will I sprinkle clean water upon you, and ye shall be clean from all your filthiness and from all your idols. Will I cleanse you? Okay? And a new heart. And a new heart. Nobody has a new heart yet. Why? Because the Almighty has to do it himself in person. He's not doing it from the skies and stuff like religion tells you. No, he's actually pulling up and performing this himself. This is only for the knowers, not the believers. This is for the ones who know. You understand? Do you understand? This is for the ones who know. Belief is religion. We don't do that over here. A new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you, and I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you an heart of flesh. Everybody's heart right now is wax cold. Nobody want to help nobody out. And if they do, it's a price that comes with it. It's a, now what can you do for me? That's what it is. What can you do for me? Let's continue. And I will put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes, and ye shall keep my judgments and do them. And ye shall dwell in the land that I give to your fathers, and ye shall be my people, and I will be your God. Let's go to 37. Let's go to 37. Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 1. The hand of the Almighty was upon me and carried me out in the spirit of the ever living, and set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones. Yea, do I walk in the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me. You see? This right here, all that we can survey is the valley of the shadow of death. Understand that. And the bones of the Holy One are the commandments of God. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go to the Ephraimite who had the book of the law in his hands, which religion calls the stick of Joseph, which really is just the book of the law. Okay? Joshua, Yeshua, Yehoshua, chapter 1, 7 and 8. Only be thou strong and very courageous, that thou mayest observe to do according to all the law, which Moshe my servant commanded thee. Turn not from it to the right hand or to the left, that thou mayest prosper whithersoever thou goest. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. He already written the laws. That is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. This is the walk of the Holy One. This has been Chief Benya, Chief Nini, coming to y'all yet again with another exclusive. I appreciate everybody that tapped in. Okay, I appreciate y'all. Much love and prosperity to each and everyone's households. Okay, and we're at that time, y'all. We're at that time. We must acknowledge the Holy One. We must raise the altar of the Holy One that is raising your vibrations. You are the body of the Holy One. That's why he says in Ezekiel, the Holy One's names with an S, plural. Okay? You must raise your frequency of love in order to leave this world of hatred, chaos, darkness, confusion. Raise your frequency of love, beloved brothers and beloved sisters, children of the ever-living God. Thank you. Shalom. Shalom.